General Hospital spoilers for the week of February 2nd to 6th hint that viewers will see Jason Morgan's grand plan, Carly Spencer's accepted proposal, and Willow Kane's upper hand. Following all the snowstorm chaos, it seems Carly may relent and offer to arrange another reunion between Charlotte Cassadine and Valentine Cassadine. It'd be risky, but Valentine might want to see Charlotte for himself again after being so fearful during the blizzard. If Valentine accepts Carly's proposal, he might get one last hug from Charlotte before changing to another hideout. GH fans know Valentine can't stay in Carly's attic forever, so he may work to convince her that it's truly time for him to move on. Of course, Nathan West and Lulu Spencer will have a lot to process following their stranded scenes in the snowstorm. Since it appears Lulu and Nathan may be on the verge of a kiss and some confessions, there may be some awkwardness once the blizzard's over. Maxie Jones's wake-up call is just around the corner, so that'll make things more complicated for Nathan and Lulu in the not-too-distant future. As for Jason, he'll be even more protective of Britt Westbourne following their own sizzling snowstorm encounter. After Britt helps Jason put together some puzzle pieces, he'll have a better idea of the serious threat she's facing. Jason may urge Britt to keep playing along and obeying orders until he can move forward with a scheme to save her. Although Britt will fear for Jason's safety and worry about Rocco Falconeri as well, Jason may form a grand plan to take down Jen Sidwell and his associates. Jason's priority will be giving Britt her freedom, but he could eventually discover a shocking Sonny Corinthos link, too. How long until Jason figures out director Ross Cullum is likely the one who ordered the previous hits on Sonny's life? Brick's source pointed to those hits coming from inside the WSB, so it makes sense that Cullum is to blame, especially since Brick doubts Jack Brennan is responsible. Cullum could decide to go after Sonny again sooner or later, particularly with Marco Rios pushing him to view Sonny as someone who could jeopardize the project. Until then, Willow will keep pretending she's a loyal wife who only wants what's best for Drew Kane, even if she wants the absolute worst for him instead. Willow will inevitably find other ways to be manipulative, so could she use Danny Morgan and scout Quartermain's situation to bargain for time with her own kids? General Hospital spoilers say the week of February 2nd to 6th will bring some messy news, big decisions, and more, so stay tuned for updates on all the action. General Hospital spoilers update for Wednesday, January 28th reveals that Drew Kane's house dweller will shock Tracy Quartermain while Emma Scorpio Drake and Giovanni Gio Palmieri hit a roadblock. Although Gio and Emma were planning on helping Tracy steal back the Quartermain mementos, some snags are brewing. It looks like Emma will postpone their journey by disapproving of Gio's outfit, but the real curveball will come later. Now that Charlotte Cassadine has taken off alone, Lulu Spencer will turn to Nathan West for assistance. Nathan will join forces with Lulu as they search as best as they can in the snow. Since Rocco Falconeri will appear in Wednesday's GH episode, he might get updates on Charlotte's vanishing act. Will Rocco be tempted to break Charlotte's trust and tell Lulu that she's been in contact with Valentine Cassadine? Rocco doesn't know where Valentine is hiding, but he knows that Charlotte saw him back at Christmas. If Lulu gives Rocco the latest news, he might betray Charlotte by revealing that she's been in touch with her dad. Although that could leave Lulu even more concerned, a positive development should be coming up. That brings us to Emma and Gio's roadblock since they'll encounter someone who wrecks their plans. It's easy to imagine Gio and Emma finding Charlotte on the Quartermain property. Charlotte mentioned wanting to check on her horse at the stables, but she might have secretly been counting on hitching another motorbike ride with Danny Morgan over to Carly Spencer's place. The blizzard may hinder that idea since Charlotte will end up next to a warm fire with Danny instead. Charlotte will go on a tirade about Jack Brennan and what a backstabber he is, so she may want a way to handle him like Jen Sidwell. Meanwhile, Valentine will freak out when Carly tells him that Charlotte is missing. It'll leave Valentine eager to get out there and search for Charlotte himself, but Carly will insist it's far too risky. As for Lulu and Nathan, they'll get stuck in close quarters thanks to the snow. It won't be long until Nathan and Lulu are deepening their bond, so don't miss all the close moments. Despite Gio and Emma getting distracted, Tracy will move forward with her plan to grab the Quartermaine heirlooms from Drew's house. However, Tracy will find out the place is already occupied, so who's she going to have a surprising encounter with? Martin Gray might be a good option since Tracy's going to clash with the person she finds. Other General Hospital spoilers say Portia Robinson will back Trina Robinson into a corner. Trina won't be able to avoid an emotional conversation with her mother, so let's hope Portia and Trina can take steps toward peace. As for Jocelyn Jacks, she'll have a run-in with someone during her Windermere snooping mission. While Jocelyn tries to talk her way out of trouble, Anna Devane will flip out over Caesar Faison, or at least someone who looks like him, in captivity. It's possible this is another hallucination, but it's also possible Sidwell sent someone to watch and taunt Anna during the power outage. Sidwell hinted to Marco Rios about their house guest not being alone, so someone wearing a Faison mask might be tricking Anna now. Whatever the case, Anna has more turmoil ahead of her thanks to her hostage status, so stay tuned. General Hospital spoilers and updates tease Lucas Jones may not have found the prize he thinks he has, and his ex-husband Brad Cooper may have been right. Does Marco Rios really love Lucas, or does he have an ulterior motive? Jack Brennan told Ross Cullum he was only dating Carly Spencer to get intel on Sonny Corinthos. Might Marco have similar motives for becoming involved with Lucas? When his father Jen Sidwell and he first came to Port Charles, Sonny's family was immediately targeted. Michael Corinthos being caught in the firebombing of Sonny's penthouse and the arson attack of Charlie's pub that trapped Christina Corinthos Davis happened close together. With Sonny's penthouse, it was the very night Sidwell took possession of and moved into Windermere, with Charlie's pub right after Marco moved there. Is it only a coincidence that Marco's positioned working with Sonny's lawyer Diane Miller and Christina's mother Alexis Davis? Or is Marco in a prime position to get inside information on Sonny's legal issues and criminal records? At the time he came to Port Charles, his mother, Natalia Rogers Ramirez, was still alive and in a close relationship with Sonny. When she went with Sonny to the West Coast when he saw a heart doctor, there was someone tailing them who sent him. Sidwell, or may it have been Marco. Granted, when Charlie's burned, Marco saved Christina, but was that because she used to be his sister, Allison Blaze Rogers' live-in girlfriend, their having become serious? Sidwell may have wanted Sonny's peers and has leverage over Sonny, but Marco wants Sonny gone. He asked Cullum to remove him from the equation, meaning graveyard dead. He wants to bypass his father's wishes, who bought the peers, but Sonny is still controlling them, and Sidwell is blackmailing Sonny and Laura Collins. Marco may want to avenge his mother, but remember, she was alive when he first moved to Port Charles. So the question is Marco romancing Lucas because he's Carly's brother? Even though Lucas has recently estranged himself from Carly, there is still a connection through his nieces, and Marco recognizes that. It certainly seems, considering all of this, that Marco may be romancing Lucas to use his connections to Sonny. General Hospital spoilers hint that director Ross Cullum may set Sonny Corinthos' deadly trap. Is a medical crisis brewing for the targeted mob boss? Marco Rios wants Sonny removed from the equation, so he made quite a pitch to Cullum in the January 26th episode. Cullum didn't commit to anything, but he heard Marco out and was on edge over his Sonny concerns. Although Cullum guessed Marco's desire for revenge could be driving him, Marco made it clear that he wanted to protect their venture. Jen Sidwell isn't doing a good enough job of that from Marco's perspective. It wasn't long until Cullum turned to Jack Brennan with questions about Sonny and Sidwell. If Cullum's worries intensify in the coming weeks, he might determine that Marco is correct about needing a more permanent Sonny solution. Sonny has faced more attacks than he would like in recent years, but he may be forced to face another one. At some point, Cullum could order a hit on Sonny and plan to cut him out of the picture for good. Sonny could be targeted like he's been targeted so many times in the past by his foes. Cullum could emerge as a new rival for Sonny if he tries to end his life and take him away from the people he loves. GH fans know Sonny doesn't let it slide when someone tries to hurt him or his family. Sonny could have a major medical crisis ahead if this hit is nearly successful, but he could recover and fight back in the end. Although Sunny might initially suspect Sidwell or Marco is responsible, the clues could eventually lead him to Cullum instead. Cullum is emerging as a key player and a big villain, so it's just a matter of time until Sunny wants to eliminate him. We all remember how Sunny chose to handle John Jagger Cates. Sunny boldly wiped Cates out right there on the Quartermain property, so we have no doubt that he'll be willing to handle Cullum too somewhere down the line. In the meantime, Cullum could force Sunny into the hospital after an attack on his life. Sunny may fall into a trap and almost face a grim fate as a result, so that could bring a traumatic ordeal for the people who care about him. General Hospital spoilers say all this could be building to Sunny and Cullum's enemy status, so we'll bring you updates on any unsettling news to come. Be sure to make us your top GH source for all the exciting General Hospital spoilers, news, and updates you're looking for. General Hospital spoilers reveal Britt Westbourne followed Agent Cullum orders last week and took the first step to banish Jason Morgan from her life. The easiest path forward required her to reach for the lowest hanging fruit, Carly Spencer, and use it to justify her newfound disgust and fury with Jason all over again. Leaving him utterly confused and Carly stunned by the bold move, will Carly start to piece together Britt's strange behavior as she is forced to watch her bestie's heart break over what might have been with the Britch? Make no mistake, Carly isn't interested in seeing Jason and Britt work out, but she doesn't want her best friend to be unhappy either. When he turned to her and asked what she said to Britt to make her blow up at them the way she did at Bobby's, Carly took a page out of Sonny Corinthos' book and decided to keep calm and carry on. Yes, Carly did that. She didn't get too snippy with her even when Britt insulted her late mother, Bobby Spencer. Carly meant it when she told Jason she was choosing to respect his choice to explore a relationship with Britt. But now that something is clearly amiss, will Carly be able to table what she overheard and keep her lips sealed? Carly has been struggling with the conversation she overheard Britt having with Jack Brennan ever since it happened. Trying to process what was said and make it make sense in any context is difficult when she had no idea Britt was even wrapped up with the likes of the WSB. But if she tells Jason what she heard, she risks backlash. She'll never lose the guy, but she doesn't want him to think she's just railing on Britt out of hatred for her either. She's genuinely concerned and knows that if she warns Jason, he'll just want to rescue Britt. So will she keep the truth to herself, or spill to Jason and let the chips fall where they may? Carly being in a relationship with Jack, and in cahoots with Valentine Cassadine, make this situation extra precarious. She can't come clean with Jason without risking him learning of her planned takedown of Jack and that she's been housing a fugitive. He's never going to approve of that, but Carly can't risk her plan to pay back being botched just so she could help Jason protect Britt from her own bad choices. The next General Hospital spoilers video for Wednesday, January 28, 2026, shows Lulu turning to Nathan for help. Meanwhile, Valentine prepares to search for Charlotte, and Jocelyn gets caught breaking into Windermere. Emma tells Gio, No, 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 this is not gonna work. The advanced teasers state that Gio and Emma are waylaid, but by what? They're on a mission to help Tracy retrieve her tchotchkes heirlooms from Drew's house. Meanwhile, Lulu implores Nathan, I need you to help me track her down. The teasers also state the obvious that she's trying to find Charlotte, especially considering she doesn't have police protection and a catastrophic blizzard is bearing down on Port Charles. Portia tells someone, I won't let you ignore me any longer. Is she talking to Trina? They're long overdue for an important conversation. At Windermere, Jocelyn says to someone who would want to break in here in this weather. Hopefully it's not Pascal that caught her there. She's on a fast track to getting fired from her spy gig, unless she stops the villains and saves the world. Elsewhere, Charlotte tells Danny, my dad put his trust in a backstabbing traitor. She's probably at the Quartermain mansion, going on about Jack and what a louse she thinks he is. Valentine vows to Carly, I'm gonna go find my daughter, who responds, you cannot do that. She's not wrong. He needs to continue laying low, or he's gonna get caught and end up back in the clink. And at Drew's house, Tracy dares someone to just try and throw me out. The teasers also show that Tracy makes a surprising discovery. Considering Kai took the blackmail evidence against Portia, what could Tracy find there? General Hospital spoilers are in for Wednesday, January 28, 2026. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Valentine Cassadine to be alarmed. Trina Robinson gets honest about her pain. Plus, Tracy Quartermain makes a surprising discovery. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the ABC soap opera. Let's start off with Tracy Quartermain. The woman just declared she wants to give Giovanni Gio Palmieri a special painting. However, it's at Drew Kane's house. Gio and Emma Scorpio Drake agreed to meet Tracy at Drew's house. However, Tracy ends up making a surprising discovery. Then, in a preview clip for tomorrow's episode, we can see Tracy isn't alone. The woman dares someone to kick her out. It is also teased that Emma and Gio get waylaid. That is likely due to the blizzard that is about to hit Port Charles. It's likely the reason that Tracy doesn't get kicked out of Drew's house. It also seems that Gio has a place for him and Emma to ride out the storm. However, the girl insists that this place is not going to work. General Hospital spoilers for tomorrow's episode reveal that Lulu Spencer is on the search for Charlotte Cassadine. The blonde turns to Nathan West for help, especially with the storm coming. Meanwhile, Valentine will be alarmed. No matter the weather, Valentine wants to search for his missing daughter. However, Carly Spencer reminds him that she can't let him go. Elsewhere, Charlotte vents that her father trusted a backstabbing traitor. However, fans know that Nina Reeves refused to tell Jack Brennan anything. As for what else to expect in the next episode, Trina voices her pain. Meanwhile, Portia Robinson declares that she won't allow her to ignore her anymore. Even though the two will likely have a tense discussion, that pain and honesty has to come out. The sooner they can deal with the pain, the sooner they can move on. After all, Trina is going to have a little sibling soon, whether she is mad at her mom or not. Plus, Jocelyn Jacks tries to cover at Windermere. The blonde is busted asks who would break in there during this weather. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Wednesday, January 28, 2026? General Hospital spoilers remind fans that Steve Burton has been with the ABC soap opera for over 25 years. Entering the canvas in 1991 as Jason Quartermain, he eventually evolved into Jason Morgan, and the character has endured many highs and lows during this time. Burton recently shared an interesting blast from the past via his social media handle. Over on Instagram, the handle @officialgolfc shared a photo of young Burton along with an even younger Jonathan Jackson, Brad Mall, and current co-star Maurice Benard. The photo was from a General Hospital fan club event circa 1995. The nostalgia was not lost on any fan, and it was fun to see just how everyone has grown and changed since then. The caption of the post read, Steve Burton, Jonathan Jackson, Maurice Benard, Brad Mall, @1 Steve Burton, @Jonathan Jacks, Ange Hcat, Maurice Benard, Brad Maui official event during GHFCW 1995. Burton ended up sharing the photo on his Instagram story, tagging Jackson, Mall, and Benard. Cameron Matheson, Burton's on-screen twin brother, Drew Kane, hearted the original post, while Burton's real-life wife, Michelle Lundstrom Burton, also liked it. When Burton first entered the role of Jason Quartermain, he was as clean-cut as he could be. Of course, 1995 was a pivotal year for the character, as a car crash during the holidays caused Jason to suffer from a brain injury and amnesia. Of course, this was thanks to his brother, AJ Quartermain, drinking under the influence while driving. Sadly, Jason Quartermain forever left the canvas, but Jason Morgan was born in early 1996, and he's been going strong ever since. Jason ended up turning to Sonny and ultimately becoming a henchman with a heart of gold. While Burton left the role in 2012 and joined The Young and the Restless in 2013 as Dylan McAvoy, he ended up leaving the CBS soap to head back home to GH in 2017. Unfortunately, Burton left the ABC soap one more time in 2021 when he was fired over not taking the COVID-19 vaccine, as a policy was established by ABC due to the pandemic. Still, once the policy was dropped, Burton returned to the daytime drama in 2024. Who else loves the blast from the past Burton shared on his IG story? Share your thoughts in the comment section. General Hospital spoilers and updates for Tuesday, January 27th. Tease: Carly Spencer gives advice while Sonny Corinthos is worried. Also, Lucas Jones gives someone a warning. Tracy Quartermaine appears to be trying to keep a promise to someone as she says there's something she wants them to have. Tracy is on a quest to retrieve the Quartermaine heirlooms that Drew Kane stole, and she intends to look for them. Undoubtedly, she is discussing with a family member the timing being right to get the heirlooms back, since Drew's massive stroke. The only problem she might have is finding where he's got them, considering he couldn't give her an answer even if he wanted to. She will go on quite the adventure to find them, but for now, she'll have a setback. Carly will catch up with Lulu Spencer and Charlotte Cassadine at the Metro Court, and she gives some advice to Charlotte. She tells her that if she wants to help her dad, she needs to stay safe. Valentine Cassadine even told Carly he needed to leave because Charlotte had come to visit him on her own. Of course, Valentine's location will remain Charlotte and Carly's secret, not letting Lulu in the loop for obvious reasons. But the last thing anyone needs is for Charlotte to put herself in danger, even if she does think she knows what she's doing. Jason Morgan told Sonny he wants to put Britt Westbourne under surveillance because of her bizarre behavior concerning their relationship. But Sonny worries that things may not go as smoothly as Jason might plan. He warns him if something takes a turn, she could betray him. But Jason is a man on a mission. He's determined to see what Britt has gotten herself into and how dangerous it is. All eyes are on Britt as she's been tasked with completing her father's project. It apparently involves cold fusion since she warned Marco Rios she needs more than she saw the Island Lab could provide her. In the meantime, Lucas is worried about Britt, but in a totally different way than Jason is. He warns Jen Sidwell and tells him what he feels. Sidwell looks shocked as Lucas tells him he doesn't think he has any idea of the amount of crazy he just invited into his home. Will Lucas put himself under Sidwell's suspicion and put himself under suspicion in doing so? Worse yet, might Ross Cullum be lurking nearby and overhear him, and question his relation to Sonny's ex? In Friday's episode, Anna Devane hallucinated Peter August, and now it seems she's chasing ghosts again. But it sounds like she is talking to Peter's father this time, although she likely won't get him face to face. She's frustrated and frightened as she shouts, "Just show yourself to me," possibly hearing Caesar Fazen's voice again. She doesn't want to believe Faison is alive, and yet she seems to have her doubts. Will she try to touch the apparition if one approaches her this time? Be sure to catch up on everything happening with GH right now. Come back here often for General Hospital spoilers, news, and updates.